I tried to get rid of this one thing, and I couldn't do it. Have you ever tried really hard to get rid of something, and there it is again? So maybe you think, if you know me, that this is a food, like I tried to get rid of chocolate. No, I don't try to get rid of chocolate. Maybe you think it was the whipped cream that's come back that I'm compulsively eating. No, no, it's not chocolate. It's not whipped cream. It's not caffeine. It's not even food. Guess what it is? And it's a gift for you. And it's been a gift for me. And I tried to get rid of it. Why did I try to get rid of it? Well, some of you know the Enneagram, and some of you don't, and you don't even need to know it. But it's been really, really, really close to my heart. And the Enneagram has been the modality that best helped me shift. Why do you think that is? Well, it's probably a lot of reasons. Probably the best is the time of life it came to me. Maybe because of the teachers I had, maybe because I bought some coaching sessions so I could see where I was in my own way. And yet it was just a strategy. It wasn't the personal me. So I was able to put some distance, if you will, between me and the behaviors and the feelings. And then I could look at them and drop them in the sense of not being so attached to them. Well, I'm getting to the point, I promise. The thing I tried to get rid of was tapping as a solution. And I'll tell you why. And this is the reason I brought up my Enneagram today. So my Enneagram, or the Enneagram, is a 4, and we're on the approval triad. And even though I'm not stuck in that, mired in that, it still sometimes comes up. And I was using tapping in a very, I think, exciting way in one of my Enneagram classes. And one of the participants had a powerful reaction. He said that he relaxed more than he had in years. I have the emails to prove it. And then I'm just guessing what happened. Either the amygdala that made him fearful, or he listened to the replay and the amygdala got in, or he saw how much of his history got revealed and in that group. And he's a person who prefers people not know stuff about him. So he changed his mind about tapping. And then some of the people were no longer in the group that love tapping and have used it. Tapping is emotional freedom technique. And you start out with, even though I'm scared of this, I'm willing to find out why it scares me. So you have an equation. Sometimes the teachers from the old time like to plug in, I love and accept myself, even though I feel ashamed, even though I believe I'm not worthy, I love and accept. I mean, I don't use that love and accept unless it's really a good fit. I prefer to use, even though this thing I don't want, even though this pain, even though this revulsion, even though this whatever, I can be interested, even though whatever I don't like to look at, I can bring my adult with me into that childhood experience. And then we tap, 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 we tap. And then we bring the emotion all through. And Louise Hay, very famous healer for a lot of people, very influential person, was asked, why does it work to look at the negative, even though this thing I don't want to look at? And she said, can you clean your house without seeing the dust and the dirt? You gotta look at the dirt to get rid of the dirt. So tapping is a clearing. So back to my story, because there was a bit there of wanting approval. And also the integrous question came up. This man had not agreed to tapping when he entered my Enneagram group. So I dropped it. And then I didn't pick it up in groups. I've been doing it with people that asked for it with tremendous results. And there's a new book by a really good friend of mine. Hold on a minute. And this book, The Yes Code, by my colleague and friend, Carol Look, put me over the edge. I had to bring it back wherever I could. So I'm bringing it into my new book. I am bringing it into all of the new work that I'm doing. And of course, people have to agree to using it before they can be part of the group. They have to at least be willing to not be negative toward it, because that energy is not supportive to the person who's doing the work. So I do it privately and I do it in my newest groups. But why I love this book, and the subtitle is Transforming Sabotage into Success, is that Carol Look is one of the earliest master teachers, and she's added a piece that I so love, because after we do all the tapping rounds and we pick how we would like to feel, we tap on how we would like to feel. And so for any of you who don't know this formula, when I was trained in the magnificent work of EMDR, eye movement desensitization, there was this component where we asked, how would you like to feel? So let's say someone was raped. EMDR works best on the big traumas that you can see, not, I had a dysfunctional family. No, we don't tap on that. We don't do EMDR on that either. But you have to have something specific. So let's say a person was raped, and I don't do that kind of work in groups, just for the safety of a person. We're dealing with big trauma there. There's big trauma and little trauma, and Enneagram is more considered little trauma, although there's always big trauma. Not always. There can be big trauma behind. So here's what I just want to share, and there's a reason I'm bringing up EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping, as it's called. There's a reason I'm bringing it up is at the end of this month, and it's February 24th, that's a Monday at night, there is a summit that begins. It's free. You can buy the upgrade and have the videos, but it shows you how to do tapping at home. It's not the same as doing it with a clinician who can broaden it for you. But what it is great at is doing tapping homework. And back to this book. So let's say the person was raped. They can't say, I wish it didn't happen. Why? Because it happened. We are dealing with the truth. We are dealing with reality. In the past, though, it's not reality right now. And that's the good news. But we bring with cortisol and our amygdala, we bring the past back forward as though it's happening now. So let's say the person would say, I would like to feel I did everything to prevent this rape. I fought back. I did everything I could do. Just take that in a minute. Wouldn't that be a good way to feel rather than I shouldn't have worn that skirt? Or people are gonna say, because I went out on a date, that I was asking, right? I mean, that happens to women all the time. We blame ourselves for those experiences. Well, this book changes it, tapping for the small stuff as well as the big stuff. So let's say you're getting in your own way with work, with your dreams, with your desires. Let's say you have New Year's intentions of going to the gym or writing a book or being kinder to your mate or whatever. And they're starting to slip away. With tapping, we change the resistance in the body. We lower the cortisol. Now, that's unbelievable, but if you've done acupuncture, why should needles help change your experience of an emotional thing, or change even your back if the needles went in your neck, right? It takes a bit of experience with these things to believe in them. So I'm going to send you, along with this video, free. I don't have any association with it except that I love tapping. And Carol, look, my friend, will be on this summit along with so many people you may admire, including Tony Robbins and Iyanla Vanzant, and a lot of the major famous people. Tapping has been scientifically corroborated. Dr. Dawson Church found that it lowered cortisol, but it's been repeated. The studies have been repeated. It's no longer a fringe method, and it's something available to the everyday person. I give you one caveat to what I send you. This summit makes it sound like it's the answer to everything. It's not, but it's a fantastic assist. So Dr. Dawson Church found that tapping was more effective than talk therapy. But I say talk and use tapping. That's why I like the groups, because sometimes we need a witness. We were traumatized or had difficult experiences with other people. And sometimes we need other people to witness the shift. So we have the body shift, we have the emotional shift, we have the cognitive shift because we have a state change. Who wants to have a state change in places we've been stuck? Right? Everybody, right? We want it. Yay. That's the sign language sign for yay. So who wants a calming benefit when we're scared or we're in fear or we have fight flight? We can't use our brain when we're in fight flight. So we need something else. You can do this under the table. You don't have to do all the points, and you will still come back to present time. So I'm going to share it with you, and I would love to hear how you feel about tapping. Have you had any experience? Would you like to try it? I'm thinking of maybe a podcast on the Enneagram where people can bring their Enneagram situations, because you're not actually telling, like if a 4 came and said, I'm being so reactive to my family and friends, taking things personally, and I would dearly love to know that it isn't me. So I could say, even though I'm feeling so reactive with my brother, I'm willing to understand what that's all about. And then I tap on the points. And in the beginning, I measure how true does it feel, or how upsetting is it, depending on what the question is. We get a number. You don't want to tap on something that's a 1 or a 2. That's just a little bit of annoying. But you want a 5. You don't want a 10 when it's a major group around you, something public. But we could do it with Enneagrams because you can describe it, and you know that, let's say I will visualize my being annoyed at my brother, but all I have to say, I don't have to say his name. I don't have to say what I was annoyed at. So it's for all the people who are busy keeping their personal life personal, it wouldn't be that kind of an invasion. And I'm thinking so many people could find the Enneagram and also find tapping together. So write me if that's something you think would work, if it's something you would watch, if you're an Enneagram person, if you would be willing to come on. I will do, for those of you who don't know the Enneagram but are interested in figuring it out without going to a class, maybe I would have some 5-minute videos, perhaps on YouTube, to make it very accessible, where people could kind of figure out their dynamics and maybe come close. And then if they came on the podcast, I should have finished my sentence, close to figuring it out, like if they're a body type or if they're a feeling type. Thinking types know they're thinking types. So would you let me know? I'd love to hear from you. And this is just an idea right now, but it's percolating. And like I said in the beginning, tapping wouldn't go away. And I'm so glad for that. And is there something in your life that you thought, nah, I don't want to do that. That's too scary. I don't know, people don't like it, or my husband doesn't, or my wife doesn't, or they're going to say this, or I want to do something easier, and so on. if you've been like that and something won't go away, maybe we both should do it, right? So I'm all in, and I want to share this thing I found with more people and peek into this free summit. There's a lot to go through. It's very, very informative. It's a long promo. When I send you the sheet, it goes on and on. But if you just fill out, send me, they will send you the days for free. And you can always get rid of the link later when they email you. But it's well worth it. It's a real gift to the world. And Dr. Stapleton is on there. Dawson Church is on there. Carol Look from my book is on there. And it's done by the Ortners, who have written The Tapping Solution and Weight Loss Through Tapping. And so if you get that push from inside, like I'm getting the push to bring tapping more into my work and integrate it, if you're getting a push, I say maybe consider doing it. Bye for now.